In 2011, Sarah Boxer from Art Forum wrote, "If Murakami is Japan's Warhol, impersonal and deadpan, then Nara is its Keith Haring, sincere and expressive." You've probably seen Yoshitomo Nara's big-headed, wide-eyed girls before, and he has indeed attracted a large following with how he expresses feelings of isolation and recalcitrance in his seemingly simple artworks. Today, I will be analyzing his work after the acid rain to exemplify how Nara effectively reaches its audience on an emotional level. Before we go into the main artwork, a brief introduction about Yoshitomo Nara. Nara is a Japanese artist who draws inspiration from Japanese and Western pop culture, especially the punk rock music he listened to in his youth. He is best known for his signature paintings of lonely, strange children against a bare background. The characters featured in Nara's works are usually young girls with round, bulbous heads and simplified features. They are fascinating, walking oxymorons with small hands wielding weapons and cigarettes in their mouths, symbols of innocence nevertheless filled with anger and defiance. Nara sees the violence not as inherent in the children, but as the result of society's failure to protect them. In an interview, he stated, "Look at them. The weapons are so small, like toys. I kind of see the children among other, bigger, badder people all around them, who are holding bigger knives." These curious characters have captured the imagination of millions across the globe, garnering an almost cult-like fan base. To further appreciate Nara's work, I visited the Youth Museum in Shanghai, where I found the work After the Acid Rain. The painting features a lone girl waist-deep in a swampy maroon background. The girl stands with her hands hidden behind her back, head lowered and tilted, such that she gazes off to her right with wide eyes. Now, I would like to pose a question. What do you feel when you look at this work? Apprehension? Despair? Personally, this painting is oppressively ominous. The dark background, hazy outlines, and slack expression on the child's face all add to a sense of tension. There is something quavering in the air, and we are waiting for it to snap. What causes this strong emotional reaction to such a simple-looking work? I think there are two main factors, namely, the character of the girl and the setup of the painting. First, the young girl. Her pose and expression is simple, yet it triggers a sense of unease. Does she know something we don't? In classic Nara fashion, the girl's hands are hidden behind her back such that we cannot see what she is holding. Yet, there's a tension in her slightly hunched and tense shoulders that tells us it might be something important. Furthermore, while the lowered head is often associated with shyness, the tilt of the girl's head is unmistakably self-assured, almost as if her timidity is all an act. Her expression is indistinguishable with a slack mouth and wide eyes, yet the careful blending of hues in the eye. Just on the right, we can see coral pink, cerulean blue, and ochre, and seemingly backlit irises conveys an emotional depth that we, the viewer, cannot penetrate. All these details give the sense that this seemingly innocent girl is hiding something from us, playing on our fear of the unknown to make us feel on edge. The setup of the painting also adds to this effect. The dim, blurred fog in the background limits the viewer's vision, strengthening the impression that there is something there we cannot see. Furthermore, the title of After the Acid Rain informs us of the consequential nature of the scene. In other words, what we see on the canvas is an instant of metamorphosis, as the acid rain forces the young girl to lose her innocence and grow up. In fact, we can glean the emotional impact of this disaster on the young girl, and it is not comforting. Looking closely at the painting, we can see that Nara used a dark red underpainting that peeks out from areas with thinner paint. This underpainting, being the first layer of paint that is covered up by the other layers, can be seen as symbolic of the girl's hidden inner emotions. The choice of the color red is representative not only of passion and strong emotion, but also of anger and violence, suggesting that the girl's inner turmoil is more sinister than we thought. This is what makes the painting so ominous. We have just seen the impact of disaster on a child, and it is so vast and incomprehensible that we are helpless to stop it. Now, we've analysed After the Acid Rain as an isolated work, but how does it stand in the Nara canon? How does it compare to his other works? Well, I think this artwork marks an important turning point in Nara's artistic journey. Most obvious is the change in art style. When Nara first created his child characters, he drew them with bold black outlines and color blocking. Within a decade, though, he began subtly adding shades. And finally, we come to After the Acid Rain, one of Nara's first few works that used his recent Mark Rothko-esque blending of hues. I think that this new blending technique is significant to his change in his worldview. In an interview, he stated, "I used to draw human eyes too carelessly. I drew obviously angry eyes, projected my anger there, and somehow released my pent-up emotions. About 10 years ago, however, I became more interested in expressing complex feelings in a more complex way. I began to stop and think, to take a deep breath before letting everything out." I think this new blending technique is a key part of Nara's stopping and thinking. It forces him to spend more time on the artwork, while also being symbolic of the change in Nara's worldview. Before, it was a world with clearly drawn boundaries, but now those boundaries have grown hazy and soft, requiring a meditative mindset to evaluate. And After the Acid Rain, Yoshitomo Nara skillfully uses a combination of expression, body language, artistic techniques, and context to create a visually simple yet wholly developed scene for the viewers to feel on an emotional level. Small details are strung together to touch viewers. As Nara once said in an interview, that beyond words appeal is, for me, the power of the imagery. With Nara's impressive ability to convey the complex emotional world of children, it is no wonder that his works have transfixed audiences across the globe. Thank you.